What's up, guys? We're back to another video today. We are going to be watching looking at the best point guards from every NBA team in 2021, but let's see if I agree with this or no.
Backed by popular demand, we're ranking the best point guard from every NBA team in the 2021 NBA season. I debated whether or not to continue this series onto this year, but it's been requested a lot recently, so here it is. The
Video is in the description.
Hopefully these videos usually falls off by the time we get to the center position though, so make sure to show support on these videos so I can make it through doing every position. But as for point guards, here's number 30. We got the Pistons with Corey Joseph.
I mean,
Nothing
isn't terrible. Just for like best point guard for a team, it's not good. But Corey Joseph, he's pretty good player.
Too exciting, just like the Pistons. 29, the Magic with Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, but he's already in 12 a game. I don't know why, but I think he won't turn out to be a bust. He could be an all-star, maybe.
Magic have been looking rough recently. Both Markelle and Cole Anthony have been injured. But when healthy, Markelle still isn't great, but he does take Orlando's spot. Yeah. 28, the Clippers with Rajon Rondo. Now, Rondo's not currently starting over Patrick Beverley, but I still have him as the better overall player.
Better overall player? Like, definitely Rajon Rondo. Better, like, in the NBA, better stats and everything. Patrick Beverley, definitely. Better productive.
Number 27, we got the Knicks with Derrick Rose.
Okay. Derrick Rose is good. If this was MVP, Derrick Rose, he's averaging like 15 or something. 15 or 20s. Still very, very good. Close to all-star numbers. But not the MVP numbers.
And this is by far the lowest D Rose has ever ranked in one of
but he's still doing good.
My point guard rankings. With Detroit being terrible and now him being off the bench for the Knicks, it's produced a rough year for him compared to the past few.
Yeah, but he's still doing very good off the bench.
Hopefully he bounces back though, and if he doesn't, also keep a lookout for Emmanuel quickly to maybe take the spot down though.
I don't know, he's been doing way worse. Way worse.
Party foul? Quick.
Way worse.
The quicker picker-upper. Bounty.
You could be me!
Me?
Actually, you could be better than me.
What?
You can follow more girls than me.
I'm just saying this to myself.
For 26, we have the Bulls and Kobe White. And honestly, I did expect Kobe to have a bigger year than he is currently. He's averaging just about the same numbers this year as a starter as he was last year when he...
Yeah. Look at Kobe White only averages like... No, Kobe White. John Moran, he only averages... His stats are barely better than Kobe White. People think him of an all-star caliber player. Last game he scored like 15 or something. People are like, this guy's an all-star. I'm like, he's overrated, but he's still very, very good. And yeah, he could be an all-star. But just comparing these stats to someone else, I don't know. I just thought about that. People barely talk about Kobe White. And John Moran, his stats are almost the same. And people are just talking about him a lot. Like, I think he's overrated. His stats don't matter that much.
When he came off the bench. But seeing that it's the Bulls, it isn't surprising that something like this is happening. For number 25, it goes to the Cavs for Derrick.
Now, but they're way worse. Like, what the heck, Nicola? What the heck, Zach LaVine? You're not doing good. I mean, Zach LaVine's injured. Yo, speaking of the Bulls, Jabari Parker played for the Bulls, and he just signed a contract with the Celtics. I feel horrible for him because he got like 30 Achilles injuries.
Because he's technically been playing point guard, while Colin Sexton's been playing shooting guard this year. And you really don't hear Garland's name talked about too much, but for only being in year 2, he's shown a ton of progress. At number 24, we give it to the Spurs for DeJounte Murray. The Spurs have been all over this.
Hearing anything.
While still being
Yes, Mike didn't work. Ooh, Dante Murray though. He's going to be a star maybe. Is this a little too low? Maybe. Yeah.
A lead on defense. He's taken a huge leap on offense, and
Definitely. He's on offense. Been incredible on defense.
one that I didn't know if he could, because players like him that play with his style usually don't. But now that he's shown that he's capable, his future is very bright. At 23, we got the Miami Heat and Goran Dragach.
I don't know, maybe Kendrick Nunn. They've both been injured this season.
Kendrick Nunn's been starting for Miami, but Dragach is still by far the better overall player.
Yeah, because Kendrick Nunn has way less experience.
And that'll be evident once again when the playoffs come around. He kind of reminds me of a Tony Parker type player, and that's why he's worth every bit of his $18 million contract. For number 22, it goes to the Pelicans and Lonzo Ball, and 22 seems pretty low for Lonzo considering how well he's played recently, but there's just still a lot of great players ahead of him. And even though he's shown major improvements, he's still got to keep it up to beat out some of these other guys, like Dennis Schroeder at 21 for the Lakers.
That's a little too low. I don't know, I feel like he should be at like 15 or something, but I'm okay with it.
And Schroeder went from being on a bad team last year as the runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year to a starter on the defending champ Los Angeles Lakers, and he has not disappointed. He's come in and done exactly what he's been expected to. He's a great player, and for everyone that's going to say LeBron should have ranked as the Lakers point guard, he played point last year. They had no other one in the starting lineup, but now they do, so he's transitioned back to small forward, or more of a point forward like he's always been. At number 20, it goes to Lamela Ball from the Hornets, and Lamelo's been the player Lonzo was supposed to be, and even as a rookie he ranks higher because it's pretty clear that he's already the better player.
But the stats are way worse, but he's way better, the player, way better.
It's not a surprise though, even since he was younger, Lonzo has said that Melo was the most skilled and would be the best out of the three brothers.
Yeah.
I am surprised though that he's been so good so quick, and at this rate I got no doubt that he's going to be a superstar in no time. The Thunder then take the 19th spot with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's had a very quiet year since OKC's in a
Say Gilgeous-Alexander is 19. Is 19, okay? No. Like I say. Good. Like I say. Look. Is anyone in the comments talking about how bad this is? It's true. True. Yeah. What do you mean? Say is like an all-star caliber player, but he's not, an all-star. But look at how good these stats are, man. Like, these are just good stats. Wait, did he get an all-star this season? Yeah, he didn't get the all-star. We're about to. I don't know. Maybe he could. This all-star, do you think DeMar DeRozan was a snub?
Complete rebuild.
Maybe.
And I gotta say, their starting lineups recently have been some of the worst in NBA history.
Yeah. It's just, that's because their team is young. It's not my fault.
But this year has still been easily the best personal one of his career, with him averaging 23, 6, and 5 on 40% from 3. It looks 8, and
I don't care about this one. So why is he so low? Say, okay, so Minnesota.
they have 2 first overall picks and a second overall pick in.
So how was D'Angelo Russell this low?
Russell on the team, and they still suck. And
How was D'Angelo Russell this low?
even though Russell was an all-star just 2 years ago, the fact that
Why
his
is
team's
he
been
this
this
low?
bad only hurts his rankings, no matter how good he really is. And same goes for John Wall at 17 for the Rockets, even though he surprised a lot of.
I think he could be an all-star this season, but he wasn't. Next season, probably. I don't know. He was kind of an underrated season, yeah.
people and turned a lot of heads with how good he's been since his return. For the amount of talent Houston has had, and for them to be as bad as they are, with Wall leading the way, it does make him look bad. Personally, he's doing good, but as a team leader, not so much. And again, same thing one more time for Dion Fox at 16 for the Kings. He's having the best year of his career, putting up 24 and 7.
I thought this was the greatest program, not the greatest team.
But he's never going to rank any higher without leading the Kings to a better
This is the greatest point guard. Our greatest teams, okay?
record. This is his 4th year in the NBA, but you can Same can't pick a guy so high that has never had a one-on wall at 17 for the Rockets.
My mic's
And
down on
again,
my
same thing
keyboard.
one more time for Dion. Can't be said though for John Morant for the Grizzlies at 15 because while
I understand. Yeah. John Morant 15, that's pretty good. So John Morant's the best. No, it's
they
pretty
haven't
good.
had great seasons with him, he clearly has made a difference and made Memphis a better team than they would have been. And I don't know
Remember that Cleveland dunk he did? Like on Kevin Love or somebody?
if I see him becoming a star or more of like a Mike Conley type player, but either way, he definitely deserves the number 15 spot.
He could be
now.
a Mike Conley type player. He could be a star. He really knows.
14, the Celtics take it with
Who
Kemba
knows?
Walker. And this is
Kemba.
probably the lowest Kemba is ranked in one of these
But it's still highs.
videos. Don't get me wrong, 14's still good, but it's also the first year he hasn't been an all-star since I've started making these. And it's because he's still struggling to adjust to his new team, and it makes sense. He was the best player on his team for most of his NBA career, and now he's had to adjust to being the third best player in Boston and taking a big backseat. If he figures things out though, maybe he'll still rank higher down the line. The 13th spot goes to the Pacers and Malcolm Brogdon. I'm still a big fan of Malcolm.
I don't know. I think you could switch John Morant at 14, Malcolm Brogdon at 15, and wait, and Kemba at 13.
And he's been drastically better this year than last, and still very underrated as a player. It's just unfortunate Indiana's
Yeah, he
not
is
playing as good as they should be this season. Then at 12, we have the Jazz and Mike Conley. And I know this ranking probably seems
He was an all-star, dude.
a little high, but Conley's on the team with the best record in the
She's an
league. He was
all-star,
a first-time
boys.
all-star this year and giving the Jazz exactly what they need from him. He's
not even
always
his
been that
best
type of player, and
season.
he's
You
the
might
perfect
say,
fit as
well.
Utah's point guard. He struggled for them last year, but now with without a doubt deserves to be ranked here at number 12. The same could be said for the Toronto Raptors at 11, whose best point guard is obviously Kyle Lowry. And this season's
all-star. You put him in top 10, but I don't, he kind of was an all-star. Like, he shouldn't be an all-star. He'd be like a 5-time all-star right now, but he's only a 1-time, and it's one of his worst seasons. But it's a good season. It's just Mike Conley is only a 1-time all-star.
It's been terrible for them as expected. They lost Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, and they've played the entire
They have been terrible, but they have been bad. I don't know, Gilbert Travers look pretty good.
season in Tampa Bay.
Pascal Siakam is doing pretty good. I don't know.
Basically every single game for them has been an away game, and they've basically been living in hotels for the entire year, which is why if this season's been unfair to anyone, it's been this team. Lowry still had a good season though, and he's been reliable enough for the past decade that one bad year really isn't going to hurt his ranking too bad. 10, the Bucks and Drew Holiday, and it's been awesome to see Drew finally getting to show what he can do on a real playoff team. Milwaukee and Giannis really couldn't have asked for a better addition to this team. He brings exactly what they need on offense and defense, and assuming he takes a big role in the playoffs, the Bucks starters could look very different this year. It's just weird though, even on one of the best teams in the league, Holiday is still underrated. 9, the Wizards and Russell Westbrook. Now I feel weird about this one. This is by far the lowest.
8, 7, 6, maybe even 5.
Russ is ranked in one of these videos. He usually ranks between the 3 and 5 spots, and honestly, I feel like he should be ranked lower. Within the top 10 at number 9 seems kinda high. Yes, he currently is averaging a 25-point per game triple-double, but the Wizards added him to this team while making very little other changes from last season, and they're now on pace to finish with just about the same exact record. Don't get me wrong, the Wizards still suck, and it's mostly their fault too, but Russ has gotta add at least a few wins. Number 8 is the Nuggets and Jamal Murray. And I was getting a little worried when the season started.
No moment of silence for Jamal, the ACL thing.
It's so slow for Denver.
Achilles or is it ACL?
But it's been good to see them bounce back. Jokic should win MVP this year, and that's helped Jamal elevate to the best year of his career. I don't know when it'll happen, but sooner or later, this man is going to become an all-star. Then at number 7, we got...
I'm not sure that will ever happen because of the Achilles. Is there anyone in the comments talking about it? want to check in the end of the video. I'll check when I'm done.
Trae Young for the Hawks.
How was he not an all-star this season?
Trae's lost a lot of the hype that he had from last year. Last season he was an all-star starter, and this year he didn't even make the team. The Hawks were a bad team his first year, then they made some huge offseason moves, and they were still bad, and that's where things went south for his reputation. And it seems like everyone just really ignored all the injuries this team
But then they
really
became
had.
better.
Either way though, I'm not giving up on Trae just yet,
I feel horrible for Chris Dunn.
because they have started to turn
Like, most people don't think he's still on the Bulls because he never played for the Atlanta Hawks. It was that injury.
things around and are in the playoff picture again. Ben Simmons takes number 6 for the 76ers, and there is literally no difference between Ben Simmons' game this year and last, so I'm not even going to say anything about it. At 5,
There's
though,
no difference his whole career since the rookie season. Kind of overrated.
we have Luka for the Mavs.
I feel it is. Luka at number 5? Who put Luka at number 5? Why would he do that? Yo. Yeah, same. How is no one talking about Luka? So annoying.
And Luka Doncic really still couldn't be playing any better.
What are you
They're
talking
trying
about?
to do everything they can to get him a
Look at number
championship
5.
team, and it's going to take that to happen to improve his ranking anymore above the guys ahead of him.
Number 5, this
Sadly,
sucks,
though,
this
Dallas
sucks, this-
isn't even close just yet. Number 4, the Suns and Chris Paul.
Stats, like 38 or something in stats. Making his team better, best all time, best all around player, like number 10 or something.
And okay, I know it seems weird to rank CP3 above Luka's 28, 8,
Cause it is.
8, and 8, and above some of the other guys. But Chris has single-handedly taken the Suns from Tyson to land in this number 3 spot.
Okay,
But
Curry.
they really have swapped positions this year, and James Harden couldn't possibly be any better. To watch how he takes over games for Brooklyn without Kyrie and KD on the court is insane. For them to have had a rocky start to the season, and then he gets there and instantly turns things around for them, bringing them to first in the East without KD, and an entirely new system for him, puts him right up there with anybody in MVP talks. At the 2 spot, it's Damian Lillard. Any better. Harden
James
for
Harden's
last
just a
year
point
to now
guard.
13th without him. Then in the 3 spot, we got James Harden, but they
said
also
Kyrie.
had the Warriors have been. But I still think it's not even.
Who was on number 2? Dame?
Puts him
Dame
right
and
up there.
Steph? Okay. Okay, not bad list. Except Luka at number 5. What the heck, dude? Bye, leave a like and subscribe.